So finally we understood that if there is any economic needs are the fundamental, if we are just searching for the need for this, then we can just approach the World Bank. Okay, they will be helping that particular government, but there will be some conditions. So before lending, they'll be checking their accounts, along with that they'll be suggesting some changes in the economic policies. Okay children, let's move on to the next one, that is, again let us see about the UN, that is the United Nations Organizations. So how exactly this United Nations Organization work and how these policies really work to the people, that we can see here. Okay, see. So in this UNO, that is the United Nations, every one of the 193 members countries of the UN has one vote in the UN General Assembly. So finally what happened here, we can see about UN. So here what happens? So every 193 countries, that is the UN has got 193 member countries. Children remember, 193 member countries are there. Okay. So every country has got one vote in the the UN General Assembly. Whenever they'll be having UN General Assembly, every country or every member country has got one vote. It meets in regular yearly sessions under a president elected from among the representative of the member countries. So it is like a parliament. If any discussions if we want to do, what happens? We'll be meeting and they'll be discussing some rules and regulations. Yes or no? Do you know about the parliament? No children. So if we want to pass any of the policies of a government, of course everyone will be sitting and discussing. Even the ruling party and the opposition party both will be sitting and discussing, then only they will be moving further. Same way what happens, it meets in regular yearly sessions. So every year they'll be having a meeting under a president elected from among the representative of the member countries. So they'll be selecting a president, under the leadership of him they'll be having a the General Assembly. UN appears to be a democratic organization. So it looks like a democratic organization because it is following all the 193 members have got one vote in the General Assembly. Okay children, you understood right? It has got 193 member countries and then everyone has got a one vote in General Assembly. And then they'll be meeting regularly yearly sessions under a president elected among the the representative of the member country. So who will be the representative of the member country? They'll be having that. And then UN appears to be a democratic organization because as we know it has got the equal voting right. Okay, next we'll see that but the General Assembly cannot take any decision about action should be taken in a conflict between different countries. So here what they are telling, they have got a meeting, that is the General Assembly, regularly every year they'll be doing this meeting, but still in this General Assembly they can't take any decision about the action should be taken in a conflict between different countries. If any different countries or two countries have got any conflicts, they can't take any decision about the action which they have to take. Because, see here, the 15-member Security Council of the UN takes much crucial decision. So here what happened, all the 193 members have got the voting right, but they will not be having a right to take any of the decisions. Okay, the maximum decisions will be given to the 15-member Security Council of the UN. Okay, they will be taking the maximum decisions. Okay, and then the one more thing we can see that in UN they have got the five permanent members. Okay children, remember 5 permanent members. So here what happened, this 5 permanent members, that member countries has got more power than the remaining countries. Okay children, you people understood, right? So which are those 5 permanent countries? See here, US, that is the United States, Russia, UK, France and China. Guys, remember this 5 permanent members, that is United States, Russia, UK, France and China. Okay. Yes. Next we'll go to the next concept, that is, see, as I told you people, the maximum power will be given only to these 5 permanent members. See here, the real power is with 5 permanent members. Okay, even though all the 193 countries has got the right to vote in the General Assembly, but the real power has given only to this 5 permanent members, that 5 member countries. Each permanent member has veto right. This is very much important concept children. Remember, veto. What is the meaning of veto? See here, it means that the council cannot take a decision if any permanent member says no to that decision. So finally what happened, just imagine there are, this 5 member countries are there, they have to take some decisions. So that time, if any one country of these either 5 countries says no to that particular decision, then they can't take or proceed that action. Okay children, understood, right? If 5 members are there, if any one member country says no to that particular decision, then finally that decision will not be taken. Okay. So if that is the situation, what happened? Whatever the 193 member countries we have got, it is of no use. So that's the reason many countries was the fighting against this rule. Children, you people understood about UN, how it works, and then it has got 193 members and that 5 are permanent member countries. Okay, and here we can see the one more, the power that is called as a veto power. Guys, remember this is very much important concept. Okay, yes. Next we'll move on to the International Monetary Fund, IMF. So here we know that, as we already discussed in the last slide, what happened? If any country is in the need of money or the financial support, they can approach to these international organizations. That is, it may be a World Bank or International Monetary Fund. Okay, see, the International Monetary Fund is one of the biggest money lenders for any country in the world. This is one of the biggest money lender. They'll be lending or giving loans to the countries. Okay, see, its 189 member states do not have equal voting rights. So here, as we see in UN, what happens? They have got how many members? Yes children, that is 193. But here in IMF, they have got 189 member countries. Okay. But here what happened? In UN, they have got the equal voting right. That is the one voting right. But here they have not given the equal voting rights also. See, the vote for each country is weighted by how much money is contributed to the IMF. So based on the money which they have contributed to the bank, based on that only they'll be giving a money or they'll be giving loans to the powers. Okay, see here, the vote for each country is weighed by how much money is contributed to. So if the country has contributed more money, then of course they'll be having more power or vote than the remaining countries. Okay, more than 40% of the voting power in IMF is in the hands of only 7 countries. So the maximum voting rights has given to these 7 countries, more than 40%, because they have contributed more to the IMF. Okay, we can see which are those countries. That is United States, Japan, German, France, United Kingdom, Italy and Canada. Okay, guys, you have to remember this concept. Let's move. Yes. See, while nations are becoming more democratic than they were earlier, international organizations are becoming less democratic. So this statement, what they are telling, the maximum, each individual country is becoming democratic. They are following the democracy in their country. But here in international organization, it shows that the democracy is becoming less, because we have seen the example of these international organizations. It may be UN, it may be World Bank, or it may be IMF. So World Bank also follows the same voting right like IMF. So which countries has contributed more to the bank or the IMF, then they'll be having a more voting right. But other countries which have not contributed will not be having a much rights. Okay, so that's what here they are saying in this sentence. The statement that is, while the many countries, the individual countries are becoming more democratic, but coming to the international organizations are becoming less democratic. So we can't see here, the equality among the other countries. Okay, see the next one. As in the case of democracy within the nation, the initiative for democracy among the nations has come from the struggle of the people. So this statement is saying that we have already learned this in the beginning of this chapter. So in each country, the people started to struggle, people started to take initiative to get democracy as their government. So this is all because of the struggle of the people of that particular country to make a country as a democratic. Okay children, hope you all understood. Let's go for a recapitulation. Before that, let me just say you one more thing. So we have already seen about the Soviet Union. Guys, do you remember about the Soviet Union? Yes, it was one of a communist state. Okay, and it was controlling the many of its neighboring communist states or the countries also. And that time, in the ancient time, what happens? The US, that is the United States of America, and Soviet Union was considered as a powerful countries. Okay, powerful states. So that time what happened? There will be maximum controversies among those two countries. But now what happened? Once we have already studied about the disintegration of a Soviet Union. So once the Soviet Union has disintegrated, it has given the chance to the United States of America. Now it shows that only US has got the mighty power. Okay, that shows that it's the only country has got more power. Okay, so that's the reason what happened. It is taking the more power in all the international organizations also. Okay children, you just go through the textbook, read once again all the concepts. Let's just go for the recapitulation. Explain about the functions of UNO. So you have to explain the functions of UNO. That is, yes, the main aim it is for the maintenance of the coordination of international law, security, and then children, economic development of a country, and along with that the social equity that you have to explain. And the next one it is, how does the International Monetary Fund function? So what is the function of International IMF? You have to explain. And then explain the factors that make United Nations organizations are non-democratic organization. So you have to explain here, they have got the equal voting right, but still what happened? The maximum power will be given only to the few countries. That is, the 5 permanent countries has got the maximum power. Along with that, they are maintaining the one more power called veto power that you have to explain. Okay children, hope you all understood the concept. If any doubts, just let me know. I'm there to help you out. Okay, have a great day. Thank you all.